Okay, hey guys, thanks for jumping on the Monday night Team Fit Hoots call. Tonight we have an amazing speaker. I can't speak. Kristen Scott. Do you use your both names? Is it okay if I just said Kristen Scott?
Is it not? Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, Kristen Scott's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to unmute it. I was like, why is this not working? I'm trying to use a new computer here.
Yeah.
So on Facebook, sometimes it's under Kristen Michelle Scott or Kristen Scott, so you can find it either way.
Okay, cool. So guys, this is an amazing chick that I got to meet. She's one of Janelle Summers. She's in Janelle Summers' downline. And I actually got to meet her through a coach in my upline, Meg Wazinski, her team, Amanda Miller. So they're both from the Chicago area. And I got to meet her at a Super Saturday. And she drove from Chicago to Ohio, and I drove from Pennsylvania to Ohio to go to this Super Saturday event. So it's not weird for us. She knows the drill too. She'll drive to an event. Events are amazing. You shouldn't miss them. If they're within a few hours from you, you should definitely get to them. But tonight, she is going to be talking to us about how to maximize the benefit with the time you have. Our team, when I pulled the team and asked, what do you guys need help with? I heard organization, time management, and what should you be doing? Like, what should you be focusing on to make this business grow in the little pockets of time that you have? So I gave her those. I just said, this is what my team's struggling with. And she's like, okay, I got an idea. And then she was like this powerhouse and sent me this amazing PowerPoint. So I'm so excited for her to take over and do this. But you guys, she's a 1-star diamond coach. She is a Success Club 10 All-Star, and she's a new mama. So her baby, just turned 1, right?
8 months, actually. You're making it go too fast.
I'm robbing you of that time.
Oh, it's okay.
She's a wife, a new mama. Like I said, she lives in Chicago. And I think what made us really start getting close is she noticed I started dating a Chicago Cubs fan. And I immediately jumped on board to the Cubbies, and I would post stuff. And I started seeing her comment, and I was like, wait a minute, she is from Chicago. And she's like, I love the Cubs. So we kind of bonded even more over that. And when I was thinking of who can be guest speakers, I instantly thought of her. So I wanted to get her on as soon as possible. So you guys, I'm going to pass it over. I'm going to mute myself, get a pen and paper because she has so much good information. I got to sneak peek at it today. But go ahead, Kristen, take it over.
Thank you so much, Missa. I'm so excited to do this call with you guys. Like I said, Missa, I asked her, what you guys are looking for and, what you're struggling with. So I kind of put a little PowerPoint together that I think is going to be beneficial. And it's not, Missa had mentioned, it's how to maximize your time to get the best results. It's not like, okay, what time do I need to be working on my business? It's not about that. It's just about some of the things that I do with my business that helps me. And as Missa mentioned, I am a wife. I am a new mom. I had a baby premature who was in the hospital for almost 3 weeks. So having to deal with her being in the hospital, and I still work full time. And I also, a Beachbody coach too. So I've got a lot of things going on at once. And these are some of the things that that I do to help me with my business. But I wanted to give you just the background on myself, like how I got started as a Beachbody coach. And some of you may have similar stories. And so, here it goes. So I guess it was about maybe 4 years ago, we moved to Chicago, a little over 4 years ago. And my husband and I, it was funny because when we moved here, Missy, you'll see whenever you come visit in Chicago here in a few months, Chicago has an endless amount of food. And they have like 4,000 different restaurants. And my husband told me, he said, Kristen, our plan is to go eat at every single restaurant here in Chicago. Now, honestly, if we did that, I would be as big as a house. Well, we started off like going out to eat every single night. Chicago pizza, Chicago hot dogs, Portillo's Italian beef, all this stuff. So I started gaining weight. My clothes weren't fitting. I was like depressed and unhappy. And, it's supposed to be like a happy time. I'm here in a new city, and I was just kind of like, blah, We had a gym in our condo. I would go down there, hop on the treadmill for 15 minutes, call it a day, and think I burned 1,000 calories and would go stuff my face with another slice of pizza. So needless to say, yes, I gained weight. So I was sitting in front of the television one day, and you know all the Beachbody infomercials. I saw the infomercial for Insanity, and it was in August, so August 4 years ago. We were sitting in front of the television with my husband and my brother-in-law, and I said, I'm buying that program. And they're like, you are so crazy, Kristen. We know you. You're going to get this program. You're going to do it for 2 weeks, and you're going to stop. We just know how you are. So I was like, you know what? Just because you said that, like, I'm going to get this program. I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow the meal plan. I'm going to do it, follow it to a T. Well, I did, and had great success, and loved how like the whole program was laid out and the meal plan. And so I was like, okay, this company is called Beachbody. Okay, let me Google Beachbody and see if they had other programs, because I wanted to see what else was out there. So at that time, I got Chalene Extreme. And I did that program, and no, yes, my favorite. That's actually still my favorite program still today. Noticed Janelle Summers in the video and kind of stalked her on Facebook and realized she was a coach. And I messaged her because, you know, I had kept seeing things on Facebook about being a coach, and people were asking me already online on my Facebook page, because I was posting every day just to stay accountable. Okay, day 2 insanity, day 30 of insanity. And people were asking me about that. Same with Chalene Extreme, asking me about the program and how it worked, and, you know, if they could do it and what it consisted of. And so I was messaging people back and forth. And like I said, during the videos, they always talk about becoming a coach. So I saw Janelle on there, stalked her out on Facebook, and I saw that she kept posting about coaching. And that's when I messaged her and was shocked that she would even message me back. So she reached out to me, and we kind of talked a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm already doing what a coach does, so why not do this and just keep myself accountable and get a discount on my next program? And that's basically why I signed up, was just for a discount and maybe help a few people. So for me, it was more of a discount, not necessarily working the business. So after sharing my journey and I kept on posting on social media, more and more people were reaching out, and they were asking about the program. I directed them to my website, and this business just kind of took over. So I was like, you know what? This isn't a discount anymore. It's kind of like a hobby, you know, a hobby coach, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. And then it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger about a year later. And it was more like, okay, this is what I want my full-time job to be. Now, and many of you will ask, okay, Kristen, you're working full-time now, you're a Beachbody, why don't you just quit your other job? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. And some people will think other people, like when you bring them onto your team, will be turned off because you haven't gone full-time as a Beachbody coach. But for me, having a daughter, and if I told you how much daycare costs in Chicago, you would probably flip out. And the cost of living in Chicago is crazy ridiculous. If I lived somewhere else, I could totally quit right now my job and go on full-time Beachbody. But that's something, and that's a goal for me probably within the year. So, Missa, I'll be with you. So I'm going to go on to my presentation. Like I said, I've got some helpful tips for you guys. And these are just things that I do. Like I said, a busy mom, a busy wife, working full-time and running a Beachbody business. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Make sure, let's see here, desktop. Missa, are we good? Can you see? Okay, let me just put it on the slideshow here. Okay, so how to maximize your time for the best results. Okay, so why is it important? Obviously for organization, because you want to be a successful coach, to help your team, less stress. You don't want to be running around like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do next? Which new coaches do that. And so I'm going to help you with that too, to help you to where your coaches don't fall off the wagon as soon as they start with thinking that they're so overwhelmed. To spend more time with your family, your friends, your kids. That's why you want to follow some of these tips. So, okay, I don't know. Where do I start? Okay, don't let that be your excuse as to why you can't be successful in your business. Okay, these tips are going to help you guys. So first off, when you want to come up with like team initiatives and a team culture. So think about how you want your coaches to be on your team, and like step back for a minute and look. I mean, you see Missa do things for you. You see the things that Missa does, duplication and things like that. So that's like a key. That's one of the key things. So starting off right. So in the beginning of the call, she mentioned the welcome email. Okay. So that's something we're going to talk about. So that's a biggie. Direction for your coaches. Okay. That is so important, because you want to give them the proper information as soon as they start off. Because I can tell you this, and not even just as a Beachbody coach, but in my job now, because I work in sales now, I have customers who think they can come to me and have me do everything for them. And I'm like, okay, guys, seriously, like, you need to be doing some of this stuff on your own. You know, you can show them how to do it and you know, direct them in the right direction. And this is kind of like what I do for my team. Okay. So you want your team to be this way, and you want their team to be this way. And I'm going to get into that again. Responsibility and 7 times. My husband was looking over this presentation. He's like, Kristen, what the heck is 7 times? Some of you guys may have heard of it before, and you have to keep reminding yourself of this, okay? Sometimes you have to tell people 7 times before they actually get it, okay? So don't get frustrated with it. It'll be okay. Because still to this day, I have to explain to my coaches 7 times, and my clients, my challengers, whatever, 7 times before they get it, but they'll get it. Okay, stop thinking so much. When I became a coach, I was thinking so much about, okay, I've got to get this in line. I got to do this. My head was scattered all over the place. And if you stick to what I'm getting ready to tell you guys, you are going to be so successful, and you're going to like shave off a bunch of time for yourself. Some of these things you may already be doing, but if you can just take one thing away from this presentation to add to your business, you guys are you're going to do very well. Okay. So the importance of knowing your coaches. First off, you need to understand like where your coaches are. Are they discount coaches? Are they hobby coaches? Or are they lifer coaches or career coaches? When I first started becoming a coach, when I started bringing on coaches onto my team, I automatically thought that every single coach was going to be a lifer or a career coach. And I see Mrs. nodding her head. And when I did that, it was like, I was giving all these coaches this information, and it was kind of like they weren't doing anything with it. And then I would get frustrated, and then I would keep feeding them more information or more things. And I was wasting a lot of my time. Okay. So that's why it's so important to like right off the bat, understand where your coaches stand. Like, okay, do they just want a discount on Shakeology? Are they trying to dabble around in it a little bit like I did initially? Or are they trying to be lifers and like build a business with it? Because if they are building a business with it, these are the coaches that you want to put in your pocket or under your arm and just like take them on the journey with you. The discount coaches, you can kind of put the information out there, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but you don't necessarily need to hold their hand so much like you do with the lifers or the career coaches, and, you know, bring them along with you. Okay, another thing, you need to have hours for your business. Okay. Again, not even just with Beachbody, but with my job that I do now, my other full-time job, people email me at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they expect an answer in return. So it's like, okay, seriously, people, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm asleep. My baby's asleep. So set your hours. You want to have hours that you're working. So say like, okay, I'll answer emails or Facebook messages in between 9 and 8 p.m. Or if you want your hours shorter than that, say you want to do it from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon or whatever. But listen, you guys are going to stress yourself out if you leave your hours open 24/7. Seriously. So set your hours and set your expectations, not just with your potential clients, but with your coaches as well. Okay. All right, scripts. That's another big thing, a huge thing. And I know you guys probably use scripts now, but I'm going to talk to you about some of the scripts that I use, and I'll be more than willing to share these with Missa, and she can share them with you guys if you want to put them in what I have here, the Google Drive. The Google Drive app, I keep it on my cell phone. I use it all the time. So if someone's messaging me about something and they want to know, I can easily just like cut and paste it, pop it in a message, tweak a few things, and send it off to them. Because, you know, we can sit there and type all day long in Messenger or on emails, and it would take forever. That is such a big time waster when you can just copy and paste things and just plop it right there, and that's it. Be done with it in like seconds versus like minutes. What I did, I developed a website, and I can share this with Missa too, if you guys want access to it. I have a website, not my Beachbody website, but it's a different website that I have access, or I give access to my coaches and their coaches. So anyone in my organization, and again, I can give it to you, Missa, if someone wants to look at it. There's a password that you plug in. And on this specific part of my website, it's just for my coaches. So they can go in there, and there's scripts in there. There's also some videos that they can watch, some very, very important information that I think is useful to them that I think that they can duplicate. So duplication is like key. Why reinvent the wheel if it's already invented, you know? Create a team Facebook group and place documents in the file section. So I took a poll of my team the other day, and I am so ashamed of this, but only like a few of my coaches on my team have their own team page. Now, regardless if you have one coach or two coaches or three coaches, or if your coaches are just discount coaches, you guys need to get a Facebook group page for your team. I know Missa has a group page for her team, and some of you may already have one too. But I think that's so important, because Missa's culture may not be the same as your culture, and some of the things that you want to share with your team may not be the same things that Missa shares with you. So like for my group page, I have my whole organization. It's just not my coaches, it's their coaches. And some of you may be in Janelle Summers' new coach success group page or whatever. But again, you want to kind of like bring it down to be more personable towards you. So create that group page, place some important documents in there in the file section for your team. It's a time saver, I'm telling you. Remind your team of like the National Wake Up Call, important things, Super Saturday, Missa mentioned that earlier. Summit, getting your Summit tickets. I know, hopefully I'll see a lot of you guys at Summit. If you see me, stop and say hi. I would love to meet you guys. So anyhow, scripts. These are some of the scripts that I use. And again, if there's one that you guys want, I'll be more than happy to send it to Missa, and you guys can use it or tweak it however you want. So I get asked, okay, so Kristen, what is a challenge group? So someone may message me that, or I may post about a challenge group on Facebook, and they'll hit me up on a message or comment in the comment section. So I already have a script, what a challenge group is and how it works. What is coaching and how to present it? So if someone asks me what this whole coaching thing is about, how I would present that in bulleted basics. Majority of you probably have this already. How to sign up as a coach. Now, I know a lot of you may use the Coach Codes app. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that, but if you go to your app store, the Coach Codes, it's like a teal greenish like app, and it's got white writing on it. There's links to how to get somebody the link to sign up as a coach. So these links, not even just to sign up as a coach, but to purchase a challenge pack, are very, very, very helpful. Or the Coach mobile app. So keep those in mind. Welcome email to your new coaches. Missa mentioned that earlier. I have a template for that, and in that email, I try to put as much information from my coaches as I can to where they don't have to come back to me and ask me questions like, okay, how do I get my reimbursement for, I've already bought a challenge pack, how do I get my reimbursement? So if I know that coach already bought a challenge pack, first off, I'm going to give them the directions to go in and get their reimbursement. I'm going to give them the day that they purchased their challenge pack so they don't have to keep coming back to me and asking. I'm going to give it to them already. And so it's the date, how to get their challenge pack. Also, if they want to change up their Shakeology flavor or how to delay their shipment or anything like that, I put that all on their email for them. So they already have the directions right there, because I've learned this. Trust me, I've been asked these questions 1,000 times from my coaches, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put this in the welcome email. That way it's all right there. I give them their coach ID number. I give them coach relations phone number. I give them all the important information, national wake-up call number, the replay number, everything. So it's right there in one document that they can refer to. Another script that I have are the different workout programs and kind of like how they work. 21-day fix is a huge one, and the 3-day refresh that I get asked about a lot. So I kind of have like a 1 or 2 paragraph type description about how it works in my own words. But what I also like to include when I talk to potential challengers or even coaches who are looking for a challenge pack, I like to include the Beachbody videos that are on YouTube. So sometimes that's a big time saver. Like if you can give like a 1 or 2 sentence blurb on, okay, you know, about the 21-day fix, but include that YouTube video. Again, use the Beachbody one. Don't use another coach's video. Use the Beachbody video. That's more thorough than a lot of times the other coaches that are out there. So I include that when I'm going over like my recommendations after I talk to someone and I say, you know, based on the information that you told me and your goals and blah, 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 these are a couple of the programs that I think would work best for you. And my number 1 recommendation would be the 21-day fix, because here's a short video. I will attach that to them. And then I would give them the second recommendation and the third recommendation. And for me, I always try to give 3 recommendations to them based on what it is that they told me. Another script that I use is what is Shakeology. So I have that too as well if you need that. And I like the video that's on YouTube about the clinically proven Shakeology video that's out there that Beachbody did. I use that a lot. So videos are key. A lot of people are more visual instead of like reading. They like to watch things. So keep that in mind when you're talking to people. And again, a huge time saver instead of having to go on and on and on about the superfoods and the new, you know, the vitamins and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Another thing, or a few other things that I do as far as scripts go, are new coach trainings. And this, guys, I've learned this too since adding new coaches, is I try to come up with my own new coach training, which for new coaches, for like beginner coaches. And I found that was kind of overwhelming. And I had to take these coaches and put them back in that group again. And it was just kind of like, okay, this isn't working. So what I've been doing, and I recommend for you guys because it's been working really, really well. I've been doing this for about 3 months now. So you know when you go into your coach online office and underneath the news and training tab, underneath that it says training. And you can get trained by Getting Started Right or Getting Started, Coach, Emerald, Diamond Coaches, and so on and so forth. So basically what I do for my new coaches, instead of directing them there because I don't know if they're watching it or doing it or whatever, I put them in a private Facebook group. And for me, I basically like cut or copy and paste what's under the Getting Started and the Coach tabs underneath that and do a 21-day training for that. So it's already there. You just copy it and put it, you know, each day, except for Mondays. Mondays, I always say, you know, it's National Wake Up Call Day. Listen to the National Wake Up Call. Here's the phone number. Report on 2 things that stood out for you. Because I don't want Mondays to be too overwhelming because they're having to listen to the call. But then I'll start with the trainings on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, I always use as a catch-up day. So don't try to overwhelm your new coaches right off the bat. Take it down to like a 101 level and just do the Getting Started and the Coach portion of that training for them. And that's going to save you a lot of time for having to put them back in another group or having to retweak a group or re-answer questions. this is going to be great because there's already videos out there for you. You just have to copy, paste it, and put it in the group. Push groups, so like push to Emerald or push to Diamond groups. I have a script for that. How to start conversations with new contacts. So if you have someone that you just met on Facebook, kind of like how to start the conversation with them. A lot of us have been doing sneak peeks, and I have scripts for that as well. I did 1 hour sneak peeks. I have 3-day sneak peeks. I'm trying not to go past three days because I think once you drag it out to 5 days, then you kind of lose interest, and that's not good. Tell me about your free challenge group. So like when you do your 5-day clean eating groups. How to submit for coach reimbursement. Again, that's like in the welcome email. And script for someone who just purchased and will be purchasing in your challenge group. So those are kind of the scripts that I do. Now, I had mentioned this to Missa, and she had said that you guys may have talked about this before in the past, but I wanted to stress the importance of this because I know all of us are guilty of this because I can raise my hand, and still to this day, I still kind of do it. I know that's bad, but like I'll scroll through Facebook and scroll and scroll and scroll, and like 1 hour passed, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I'm not even getting any work done here. I'm not getting any work done. So what I like to do is host power hours with my team, okay? So we all get on a Zoom chat, just like we're doing right now, and we do a power hour. So we have, okay, for 15 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes, whatever, we will reconnect and friend like 5 to 10 new people. And so, you know, we can search through our friends and see if we have mutual friends, and we'll friend 5 to 10 new people. Then the next 10 to 15 minutes, once everyone's done, so we're doing this together. So we're not scrolling through Facebook, we're doing it together. So the next 10 to 15 minutes, we will follow up with people who have commented on our recent challenge group post. So we'll reconnect with them and message them, okay? Then we're done with that. Then we will go back and we will reconnect with 5 or 10 more people who have expressed interest in a challenge group before, and for whatever reason they didn't join the group. So we're all doing this together for an hour. So you can come up with various ways you want to connect with people or different types of people you want to connect with, but this just helps you stay on track and focused, okay? And for me, I like to do this with my team on Fridays. So we normally do it during the day. So like at 1 or 2 o'clock on Fridays. You can do it any day you want, but those are just the days like we tend to like, well, I know for me on Fridays, I'm like, it's a weekend, yay, you know, and then I just kind of like fall off track for the rest of the week. And I'm like, let me just get this done on Friday, take this hour, really work my business, really drill down. And it's a way for me to like help my coaches too. You know, so if they're stumped and they're like, you know, this person just messaged me back, and it's crazy because you'll start getting responses back during that hour too. And they're like, Kristen, this person just said this to me. How would you say it? So you're helping your team, but you're also helping yourself too during that whole hour. So it's been very, very beneficial. I went back and I asked my team, I said, you guys, what is like the biggest time saver for you guys? And what is it that you like that we do as a team? And they said these power hours are huge for them. So I have scripts for these if you guys want them too. Challenge groups and coach training. So I highly, highly recommend, again, scripts, but to co-host a challenge group or a sneak peek with somebody. And it doesn't have to be someone from your team or your organization. You can reach out to anyone you want. Like Amanda Miller, Missa mentioned her. Amanda and I, we did tons of trainings together, and we did challenge groups together. So anyone, like a lot of times I'll try to host like 2 challenge groups a month, and I always have a coach, regardless if it's my personally sponsored coach or it could be someone in my organization. We host these challenge groups together, and that way you guys can share the post each day. Because when you're doing a challenge group on your own, sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. So if you can share the posts with each other, you know, kind of like what we do is like, I'll do Sundays and Mondays when we first start off, and then we'll alternate each day. And that's like a huge, huge time saver. And that way during the day, you can just kind of pop in for a few minutes and respond back to whoever commented in the group. So I suggest doing that. Delegate. Okay. Within your house. So my husband is in the other room right now, and he is with my little sick baby. So he's with her right now. In the morning time, I'll tell you this, he is such a huge help for me because I get up at 5 a.m. and I use my time to work my business from 5 until 6 in the morning. So I'm messaging people back, and he's usually like feeding her, and they end up falling back to sleep in the bed. And so he watches her during that time. And then from like 6 to 6:45, I get my workout in, and then get ready for work, and he gets ready for work. And it's just, you got to think about when is the best time for you to work on your business. You've got to set time aside to do this. So like, when are you less likely to get emails? When are you less likely to get phone calls and text messages? You don't want to be distracted while you're working your business or working out, and just trying to stay focused, reading your personal development or whatever it is. Have your spouse or your significant other or your older children, whoever, help you out with this. Also, delegate your team. So each coach on my team, like one of my top coaches on my team, she is a huge help. We actually partner and do a lot of things together. So I delegate some things to her. And some of you may have an assistant that does that. I don't have an assistant just yet, but if you have an assistant, you can start delegating some of the things that you're not so good at. Like if I had an assistant, I would probably have her help clean my house or do something like that, like have them do things that like you're not so good at, or maybe you're not so good at like doing the PicMonkey things or the Canva things, and they are, or whatever. Have someone help you with that. Alicia, my top coach on my team, the one that I was telling you that she helps me out, she will post things in our team page to like keep coaches in the loop, or like when I'm on vacation or anything like that. So you have to be able to delegate things. Don't try to take everything over all on yourself, because you're going to be completely overwhelmed. I mentioned a team Facebook page. That way your coaches can ask questions and not necessarily come straight to you all the time and hit you up on text message for like, what's my website, or, like crazy things like that. Maybe another coach can answer the question before you can. Keep your team in the loop and then post reminders. Again, it's going to be a time saver for you instead of having like 10 coaches come to you and ask you for, when do I sign up for Summit? Or when do I sign up for my tracks, or whatever. You just put it all on Facebook right there, and it's one message for everyone. All right, BAT binder and or electronic. So I don't know if any of you guys use your business activity trackers or BATs, but those are amazing. Those have helped me so much with my business and helped me stay organized and know who like I've contacted and how many people I've contacted throughout the day. And a lot of times, like when you can check off something like that and know what you've already done, that kind of helps you stay more focused on your business. Also at the bottom of it, like where you can write like who you've contacted or reminders of who you needed to contact, that helps me a lot. Now, I haven't really necessarily used much electronic things. I like to use my BAT and my binders. I have a binder with like every single week's BAT in it. So like when I go and like, say I'm going to do a challenge group in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, I'll go back and I'll personally message people from the past who've expressed interest in joining my accountability group or my challenge group and say, hey, I've got a challenge group starting. You expressed interest before in the past. I wanted to give you first dibs on it before I open it out and put it on Facebook. So that helps me keep track of like who's expressed interest before in the past, instead of sitting there like, okay, now I think maybe she asked me before or mentioned she wanted to do it. It's just a way to keep track of it, okay? And even like I'll flip the page on the back of it, and like each day I try to friend request like 5 new people, and I'll like write the person's name on the back. So as soon as I see that they accepted my friend request, I'll flip it on the back and say, okay, is this person someone that I friend requested, or, you know, on my list from yesterday, yes, okay, check. Let me send them a message real quick and say, you know, it's great connecting with you. I see we have mutual friends in common. It's just a way for me to stay organized. And you can do that electronically. I know a lot of coaches use different tools. I'm not exactly sure if you guys are doing that yet or not, or maybe Missa has a tool that she uses. But the bats and the binders work awesome for me. So just another way to stay organized. You definitely want to plan out your social media post. And these are just some pictures that I took from various things. Like the one in the left, that was in Cancun at the Success Club trip a couple years ago. And then that other one on the bottom is me running on Lake Michigan. I had a professional photo shoot, which I highly recommend for you guys. It's kind of an investment, but if you can get a professional photographer to take a picture, like take 20 to 30 pictures of you, you've got these pictures in your back pocket and you can use them for all sorts of things. Like one of my pictures I used on my like page today is actually a photo that I had taken when this photo was taken on the beach here. It's like of me jumping up with my hands. I'm jumping up in the air. And it's like it's about 2.5 years old. And I just reused it again. People aren't going to remember that. But you can change it and do it like black and white photo instead of a color photo, or you can dim it with the apps, or like make it flashy with PixArt app and like make half the picture pink and half the picture blue and just make it look different. So have those pictures on hand, and even if it's not a professional photo, get out on the weekends and have like your husband or your friend or whatever go out to the park. And I learned this from Shalene Johnson. Take a bag of like different tank tops or sweatshirts or pants or whatever, and just start shooting pictures. Like have your husband or whoever take your phone and just start taking pictures of you, and then like go and put another shirt on real quick and like do something different so it looks like a different day or whatever. Or like go get in the car and change your pants and, you know, put on a different pair of capri pants or workout pants or shorts or whatever, and just make it look like a completely different day, and have these pictures stored in your phone. That way you don't have to sit in the morning or during the day and you're like, okay, I need to post on social media. Okay, what am I going to do? You've already got these pictures. You know, you've already got them at hand. You've already got them. You just need to think about what you're going to post on those pictures, but plan out those posts too with your wording. So that's like a huge time saver, because you can literally, like I did this when I first started out as a coach. I was like, okay, what am I going to post about today? And literally sat there for 30 minutes not knowing what I was going to post about, and took a stupid dumb picture that had got no likes on it and no comments, and I looked like an idiot because I just try to do something really fast. Your videos are kind of hit or miss on social media right now, but I like to do workout videos, and they're kind of cheesy, but they're just kind of ways for people to see how to do like at-home workouts with certain, like with weights or bands or whatever. And I'll do those, like I'll record a handful of them and keep them on my phone and go in the other room and change into a different outfit and make it like a different day and have them saved onto my phone. That way I can post it on Facebook and I have it, and I don't have to like, you know, if my day's crazy busy, I don't have to be like, okay, I don't have my video ready. I already have it on my phone. I can just post it. So that's another huge time saver for me. So this blast your why, show your why, post your why for yourself. So if you, this is my husband and little Piper there, but if you know what your why is, that's going to help you stay on track. So if you post a picture of your family and like write my why, or a picture of a humongous house that you want, or a car or whatever, that's going to constantly remind you of your why. And if you stick it on your computer, that's going to help you to not like veer off on track and scroll Facebook for 2 hours and not get anything accomplished, or watch The Real Housewives or whatever, you know, whatever show you watch on TV. That's just going to help you stay focused. So again, it's just keeping focused on what's important, because if you do stay focused and you stay on track, your business is going to explode. I'm telling you, the past, oh my gosh, like after implementing a lot of this stuff, I would have to say over the past year, just following some of these techniques that I do and some of these things that I shared with you guys, scripts and things, like my business has gone crazy. Like, I mean, just on, so I had a pretty tough month last month. I know a lot of coaches did. And I was like at Success Club 2 on Friday. And hitting Success Club for me that's like a non-negotiable. Kristen, you have to be at Success Club. So I ended up closing out the month and I signed up, like hitting Success Club, doing everything I was supposed to do, signed up 4 coaches on the last day, just by following scripts and doing what I was supposed to do and staying on track and remembering my why it is that I do this every single day, and why I'm so passionate about being a Beachbody coach, and remembering, Kristen, in a year, you want to quit your job and you want to be able to do this full time. So I want to leave it open for you guys and see if you have any questions about anything that I talked about. And again, if there's scripts or anything like that you guys want, or you want access to kind of see how I did my website with some of the things that I post in there for my coaches, I would be more than happy to share that with you guys.
Hey, Kristen, I'm going to unmute until we see some questions pop up, but I just thank you so much. Some of the things that you were talking about, I was like, yes, we do that. Like, it made me feel like our team's on track with some of the things that you talk about. My team, they know I love scripts. Like, they know I'm just a huge fan of it. But I always say to them, you guys, you have to make it your own, because we come from a really big organization, and one of the most successful organizations, if not the successful organization. So if you think about how many coaches are sharing their scripts with their teams and they're getting out there in our organization, you don't want to be like talking to people and they're like, you know what? Because I've had people, tell me that they're like, oh, well, they told me they've gotten that same message from coaches before.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, you don't want to just be that cookie cutter, like coach that's just sending. You need to personalize it, and you need to, make it your own. And, I was just on a call the other day and I heard some coaches say, I don't even use scripts. It's all, just what is going to come out of my mouth at that time. And that would make me like, it is a huge time saver. When I sit down and I know I'm going to be talking to people about my challenge groups, I pull up my challenge pack script, I pull up, my objection script, and I have things ready to go because I know I'm going to be going back and forth to that script. So, and we would love to see your page because we have a team page that I have set up for the team to go and like access and stuff. So that would be awesome if you could.
I'm going to show you guys right now what I'm talking about, and you guys can jot it down. I'll show you exactly how to access it. So the website is all, A-L-L, the letter U, A, fitnessproject.com. Okay, so this is my personal website.
I love the photos. I think what you said about spending that money to get professional photos is legit.
Yeah, because
I need to.
More people, it's like you get taken more seriously when you have these photos. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, occasionally I throw in normal, regular photos. We all do that. But like when you can throw in these photos, you'll get comments on them and you'll get likes. And, when we get more comments and more likes, it keeps it in the newsfeed and it grabs more people's attention. So this is my website. I'll just show you a little bit about it. It talks about like me and like how I got started and like products and things like that. Challenge Pack, Shakeology, like how to contact me, and I've got it linked to my Facebook and my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Pinterest. So there's a coaching tab here, and it's like you can click on be a coach. So if someone wants to become a coach, they can click on that, and it'll explain how to become a coach and what it all entails, the discount. Basically, it's the bulletin basics. But down here, I have like a link that people can click on, and it's kind of like an application that they can fill out. And it gets emailed directly to me, So I can kind of already screen the people that are interested. But as far as what I was talking to you guys about, what I share with my team, if you click Coach Login, and then you scroll down, it's going to ask you for a password, and the password is fitness, all lowercase. And then you just hit submit. And it's got a ton of stuff on here.
Ooh.
Yeah, tons of stuff, like how to host a challenge group, like tons and tons of stuff. And you can click on these different things here. It'll take you to different links, like the coach manual, coach checklist, about me forms, social media do's and don'ts, scripts, assistant tasks, promoting and running challenge groups, free coaching at a glance, critical core activities, business activity trackers. And then there's a few different videos on here, which I've got to upload some more. But it just kind of gives you an idea of what it is that I supply for my coach and my organization. And it's such a time saver because you can direct them straight to this.
I'm sure this took you time in the beginning, right, to put together.
Yeah, it took me some time in the beginning, but it definitely pays off in the end.
Yeah, it saves you tons of times now. So, like I said, we have a page, but like I like seeing what other coaches do too, so we can make our page better. And I just want to hit on a couple things, you guys, that Kristen said that her team does, and that we kind of do a little bit differently. And I want to point that out just because every team, she said, don't duplicate. You duplicate, don't reinvent the wheel, but have your style with it too.
Right.
I remember seeing Janelle's welcome email, and her welcome email is like a freaking novel. And it wasn't working for my coaches. Like, it wasn't working having all that information. So what I did, and you guys notice in our team, is I shortened the welcome email, but this is why I have a process. When you welcome a coach, send them that welcome email. It has their website and everything in it, but then there's that pinned post in our page where there's a pinned post. It has like 10 different things, like, websites, the customer service number, like all of that is pinned to the top of our page. And I tell you, when you welcome your new coach, tag them in that post and let them know that it's always going to be there. It's there for them to always come back to the team page and check out. Because if they're like me, I think I attract people like me. My email is a shit show. Like, it is just not organized. It's stuff everywhere. And so if I know I can go to the Facebook page and just say, go to the pinned post, they're like, oh, okay, great. And I also love that you were talking about when your coaches should be building their teams. And I always tell my coaches, like, when you hit diamond, it's definitely a time to, like, our team motto is leap and build your wings. And it's a good time to, when you have those coaches, I'm going to say this from experience. I've had coaches who branch out and make their own team pages. And one, they either don't have enough time to be like putting the information in it because they're busy. I do this full time. So they're like, you know what? No one says anything. No one does anything in my team page. I'm just going to close it down and put it back in your team page. So that's why I say, you guys, if you wait till you're diamond and you notice that you have business builders and you have people who are not just discount coaches, I totally recommend doing that. But I've had coaches experience, breaking loose and having their 3 coaches, their 3 discount coaches in their page with them. And they're like, well, nothing's happening. And they're just taking the information I post and they're putting it over there and they're making more work for themselves early in the beginning.
Right.
So that's one of the things I've noticed. I definitely think it's a good idea, though, once you become diamond and you are, you have at least 8 to 10 coaches under you. But, I'm not going to stop anyone from doing that if you want to take your 2 coaches and put them in a team page or have a chat or whatever, because they do want to see you as the leader. They do want to see you as that person. That's why I was telling you guys today, I'm getting these emails from your coaches, and I'm sure you want them, not me. So there was another thing, too, that I wrote down that you said, get off the freaking timeline. Like, underlined it. Like, and I see who's on the timeline because you're in there loving on everybody, and there's no problem with that. But I wonder, like, holy crap, I suck at keeping up with my own coach's stuff. And then I feel bad, but I have to tell myself I'm not on the timeline. I don't go on the timeline that much. So you have to maybe give it to yourself as a reward. Like that's what I started doing. Like I would set my timer for 20 minutes and say, okay, in the next 20 minutes, I'm getting this, I have an alarm, it's going to go off, and then I'll give myself 10 minutes to go on the timeline. Seriously, that's what I do. And then I set my 20 minutes and I do my next task, and then I give myself 10 minutes on the timeline. I used to try to not go on the timeline all day, and then I would like binge timeline, you know, and I'd be like on the timeline for like 2 hours. And I'm like, well, there was my day, you know? So, and some of you guys might only have an hour. So if you sit there for an hour on the freaking timeline, loving on everybody and their mom, that's great and all, but are you getting your business stuff done first? Like that's what you have to do. Terry, I love you. I'm a timeliner. You're not the only one though. Like I know, and that's the thing about our team is like we're so supportive of each other. And then I'm like the team leader, and I look like the bad one because I don't see anyone's post. And they're like, well, did you see my post? And I'm like, no, I don't get on the timeline. But I'm trying to say that over and over. I don't get on the timeline, so you guys kind of know, like, okay, you know, this is what I did to help you guys if you suffer with the timeline thing. I have, you know, we learned this in our power hour thing the other night. I have folders for the team. I have folders for my prospects. I have folders for new friends, and I go and I'll check those people out. Like I'll go and see, okay, who should I be liking? Who should I be like making sure that I'm staying close with? I get notifications when my supporters post so I can equally show them love. Yeah, that's great. So I try to do that, and I don't get those notifications. I try to say, like, I want to see this person's stuff first, and it doesn't work for me. It doesn't pop up. So, of course, if you have someone who's supporting you, show that support back to them. Those are usually the people who are following you, your prospects, your challengers, the people who you're, you know, speaking to and talking to. So, you know, guys, if you are finding that you're spending all this time on the timeline in the beginning of your shift, flip it around and make it your reward. Like make sure you're doing some type of business building activity first before you're getting on the timeline. So that was just something I wrote down and like underlined it, because it's just something that I used to suffer with, and I'd be like, why is my business not growing? Why can't I get Success Club? Why can I not fill a challenge group? Well, because I spend 3 hours on the timeline looking at a bunch of crap. Not crap if you're like following your friends, but you know what I mean? Like I get sucked into complete strangers stuff because I like add people from all over, and it's crazy, you guys. So
that kind of goes back to what you were, sorry to interrupt you, but like what you were saying, you know, you're sitting there scrolling through the timeline and your hour slips away, and then you're on the 28th day of the month and you're like, I have 0 Success Club points. I haven't brought any new coaches onto my team. My challenge group starts in a week. Like, what the heck is going on? And some of my coaches, like I've experienced, like they do that and they think, okay, the customers and clients or whatever you want to call them or new coaches, they'll just come to me. No, they don't. That's not how that works.
What are the people you timeline stalk? You know, your prospects, your challengers. And if there's people, your supporters, make a folder for your supporters who love on you. I have a folder for our team. I try to go in there twice a week and I scroll through. It just has whoever I put in that folder. And I scroll through and I'm boom, 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 like, comment. Because I do want to see you guys. I do. It's important to me. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm like, oh, I don't, you know, no, that's not the thing. It's just if you have supporters and people that they love on you and you want to love back on them, throw them in a folder and check that folder once a day. Give yourself 5 minutes to check that folder and go love on those people who are loving on you, because yes, they do deserve that if they're supporting you. So that's just my one tip. And there was something else that you said, but I can't remember.
Can I echo something that you said before you were talking about the timeline, Missa, about the Facebook group? Like so for me, and this may be, again, it works for everyone differently, and kind of like what Missa said, you know, maybe once you start having some coaches that aren't necessarily discount coaches and you want to create a Facebook group page, you can. But as soon as I did that, it kind of made me, instead of relying on Janelle, it kind of made me feel more like a business owner. Like I had ownership in something, and this was like for real, because I had my team, I had my coaches. I was responsible for helping them be successful. And so as soon as I started that group, it was like things started turning around for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
it makes you feel more responsible.
yes. Mm-hmm.
It holds you more accountable.
Exactly. Because it's just like, with your whole, like you working out and you helping your challengers, it's a whole practice what you preach thing.
Yes.
Like if you're showing your coaches that you're doing it, then your coaches are going to fall behind you and do the same thing.
That's a great point. Yes. I love it. All right, guys. I think we don't have any questions. So I think that is it. Michelle says, I love the separate page idea for my coaches. Yeah, it does make you feel like you have more responsibility. It makes you up your game. And it just literally, there is things that you might want to share with them that I'm not putting in our team page. And that makes me remember the whole delegating thing. If you guys want to be posting more, like if you want to have more of a leadership, tell me. I sometimes feel like I would love to be like handing out these jobs to people. Jill is like my main squeeze. She helps me with posting things and putting stuff up. So she is amazing with that. But if there's people who seriously, want to have that leadership role within our team, because I can't do it myself, and you'll learn if you try to have your own team. Your own group. You do feel almost overwhelmed sometimes, and I still feel like that because I'm always trying to provide like so much information. Mm-hmm. And when you take it on yourself, it's like, so delegating has always been my problem. I'm not good at saying, hey, will you do this? So if anyone wants to, you want to make it easy on me so I don't have to like delegate to you. But I think Allie said, when you add people to lists, does it send them a notification? I thought, no, I don't think it does, but I think they added something to someone's occupation. Like, from what I understand, one of my coaches, I had to force her to let go. She does. Like, I have this control issue. No, but if you like go in and it'll ask you like someone's occupation and you put like Beachbody, it will notify them that they added your occupation or something. But I've never gotten notifications that I've been added to lists, and I've asked, you guys are all in a list. Have you got notified that I added you? No. See? So what I think happened in that case, that person wasn't adding to a list. They were adding like an occupation for someone. Because I've gotten notifications from people who are like, oh, so-and-so has said that you work at Beachbody. And I'm like, I don't even know this person, like what? Like, so they must have been organizing like something on their list or something. But no, I have you guys all in a folder. I think if I share screen, I can show you guys real quick. I have no idea what's going to pop up when I open my computer. I'm just warning y'all right now.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, I've been trying super hard to get my phone working. My phone like took a shit. So, friends here. Okay. It's under the Friends tab. Can you guys see? So here's one. It's my first one, Team Fit Hoots. So what I do is I come here. Let's see who's going to be in here. And I just come through. And you know what? They're not all coaches. I started adding prospects to this too because I want to see people who I want. It's almost me saying, like, you will be a part of my team. You will be a part of my team. I'm, like, forward thinking. But I come through here and it shows me people. Oh my God, look at that. See, now I don't see this stuff from everybody when I go on my timeline, but this is what I'll do. Those look good, Aaron. Oh, Pampered Chef, I'll come. This is what I do, you guys. I come through here and it has everyone in the team here, so I can just scroll through and see. That mess. I love it. Oh, look. See, this is why she's not a coach, but she's a prospect of mine that I want to become a coach. Come on, how perfect is that? This is why I want this lady to be a coach. I need to take that quiz. But anyway, this is what I'm saying. This is what you can do. You can do it with prospects. You can do it with challengers. I know people who do, like they name the challenge list, and then they have that, and they just go and they see just their maybe 4 people. So they want to make sure they're keeping up with their challengers. on, you know, outside of the Facebook challenge group as well. So that's what it looks like, you guys. And it just takes all those people and puts them into a group, and that's all you see. So if you want to, like I said, love on your supporters or make a Team Fit Hoots page and just take all the coaches that you love and put them in there so that you're not on the timeline so much, you're working, and then go into that folder and look once a day for 5-10 minutes. That's what the folder looks like. And one more thing, Kristen, the other night, I'll share this with you too. We did, we have not a backstage pass, a 1 hour live what to do during your power hour. And I know I kind of said that to you, and I think we do it differently. So mine, what happens is we don't do the power hour together. I want to try that next. But what this one was for your first 10 minutes, like here's a video explaining like how to add contacts. Here's a video explaining what do you do when you check in groups. Here's a video explaining, what was another one of the videos that was on there? One of them was like a Pinterest, like how to add people from Pinterest. And there was like all these different, like every 10 minutes we put up a different video of things that you should be doing during your power hour. So, and it was a huge success. When you guys say if you were there, it seemed like a lot of people really loved it and like got a lot from it. But I love the idea of you sitting down and giving them like, hey, we're doing this together. So we're going to do that next, you guys. Just wait.
Missa, before you get off, before you end the call, I wanted to say something. We were talking about delegating.
Yes.
And something else that I think works pretty cool. So like if you're on vacation or like say you're going to have like an extremely busy day and you've got a challenge group going on, but you notice a total rock star in your challenge group, say, hey, Missa, you know, you're doing awesome in this group, blah, 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 blah. Is there any way, would you mind posting for me on Thursday in our challenge group? And kind of giving her the reins of that, because that too is going to let Missa see that you notice that she's doing a fantastic job. And that's going to also give her confidence too, and maybe make her want to become a coach.
That's a great idea. I've heard that before, but you know what? One of my Jill, she's like, I had to force her to let go. Because you know what? I have let go before, and then the people just kind of dwindle off. Like they're like, oh, I want to do it, and then they don't do it. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then I get scared of like letting go again. So that's an awesome idea, and I haven't ever tried that. I remember hearing that, but that's a great idea. You guys, if you see people in your groups, that is a great idea to kind of plant that seed in them too. You know, and I like to run my challenge groups with my coaches, like you said. I feel like we get bigger groups, we have more interaction, we have a community. You guys listened to that National Wake Up Call a few weeks ago about building a community. That was one of my I just love that call. But anyway, guys, if you have any other questions, I will share your slide that had like all your website and all that. I would love to see your scripts too. That would be amazing. You don't have to share all of them, but if you could at least share, you guys, if you want to let me know if there's ones you want to see for sure. But I would love to see the description one of the workouts, because that's one I don't have a script for, and I feel like I'm constantly typing like, well, this one, da 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 da. And this one, and it's good for coaches who are brand new and they've only done the 21-day fix.
Right, exactly.
Don't know any other program, because like everyone's done the 21-day fix. So it's awesome for new coaches too. So anyway, guys, thank you for hanging on tonight. Now that I have the paid Zoom, it's like my things they last forever now. We cut off at 40 minutes, which is probably a good thing. And now it's like, oh, we have all the time in the world. But anyway, guys, I will post the recording for this tomorrow in the team page. And Kristen, I'll make sure you get it as well. And I'm excited to talk to your team tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Nice to see everybody tonight. And hopefully I'll see you at Summit.
Heck yeah, girl. Have a good night, guys.